Good evening. This is MemphisWeather.net meteorologist Erik Proseus coming to you tonight with a bit of a discussion about the upcoming Arctic blast that is going to be moving into the Mid-South on Thursday late afternoon, and what that's going to bring for us and how long it's going to last. I'll talk a little bit about what you can do to prepare over the next 24 to 36 hours, and delve a little bit into some of the details, and we'll also give you a look at the 5-day forecast that goes out through Christmas Day, so you've got an idea of how to plan as we go into the next several days. So let's dig right into it here. First, taking a look at the watch warning map for the United States, and all of those pretty colors that are across the northern tier of the country spell hazardous weather up there. This is where the bulk of the cold air is right now, or is headed in the next 24 hours. Blizzard warnings, winter storm watches, winter weather advisories, high wind warnings, you name it. It's going on up there across the northern part of the country, and they're getting ready for this to move through the Midwest and up into the northern plains over the next 24 hours, and then it will be diving southeast. What this map does not show is the wind chill watches and warnings that are also in effect, and those are even further south. We are under a wind chill watch here in the Memphis area, and those extend all the way down into northern Texas and up across the Ohio Valley as well. Very, very bitter air moving into the area, and that'll be one of the main hazards we'll be dealing with. Just as a little bit of a side note, I did check, and it looks like the Memphis area has never been under a wind chill warning before. That is likely coming tomorrow, and that signifies the wind chills dropping well below zero. And so we're going to get into the details of that as well. But from what I can tell, this would be the first time we'd be under a wind chill warning. It's been about 33 years since we had air as cold as this come in the month of December. So it is early this year as well. Let's take a look at where this is all coming from here in a second, but I want to first give you some bullet points of what to expect. High-level overview. So we do have this Arctic front that's going to be moving through into the Mid-South late Thursday afternoon, and models are pretty similar in the timing of this, an hour here or there as to the exact time that front moves through, but it looks like it's going to probably be between 3 and 5 p.m. on Thursday afternoon, and trust me when I say you will notice it when it comes through. Not only will it drop the temperatures, the bottom will drop out of the temperatures, but it'll get very gusty as well, and those rain showers that could be around the area will quickly change over to snow, because those temperatures are going to drop probably about 30 degrees in 2 hours behind that front. We're looking at about 50 before that front gets here. It'll be below freezing in an instant, and they will continue to drop overnight Thursday night, but it's going to be sudden, and it will definitely be noticed, and that will result in that a little bit of rain that's right around the front quickly changing over to snow, and that'll last a couple of hours. It's not going to be a prolonged snow event. That will keep our totals to a minimum, but it could be it could come down at a pretty good clip there for a couple of hours as that front moves through. And because of the wind that is expected with this as well, I would personally rather not be on the roads during the time that this is coming through, which is about rush hour on Thursday afternoon into early Friday evening. Now, as far as how much snow we're expecting, a boom forecast, the highest we could probably see is 1 inch, so we're not talking about a lot of snow, but on the low end, I'd be surprised if all we get is some flurries or just a quick dusting. I think over a couple of hours there, we could get about a ½ inch, something like that, but with the wind blowing, it's quite possible that that ½ inch will be in places where the wind deposits it, and not necessarily a nice even coat over everything. One of the other concerns that we do have, there will be a little bit of rain ahead of this system. Not a lot during the day, but we will have a little bit of rain around, especially as that front moves through and it's still in the 40s. But as we drop very quickly below freezing, that could mean a flash freeze condition. And so my biggest concern with any icing that takes place is not because of freezing rain falling or sleet falling. It's going to be the raindrops and or a coat of water that might be on things as the temperature just drops below freezing very, very quickly. So something you'll definitely want to keep in mind if you've got vehicles parked outside, they get wet and then you don't go back out to them until Friday morning. It could be a little tricky to get that door open because you could have ice on there that has frozen up, water that is frozen up on it. The big thing to also be concerned about with this, especially as we go into Thursday night and Friday morning, is going to be the wind chill values, and they will fall below zero Friday night, which is why we're expecting a wind chill warning to be issued. We're already under that watch. They will likely get well below zero Friday morning. If you have to go to work in the morning or get out early, those wind chills will probably be around minus 15. This is like Minnesota air that's dropping in. Actually, it's Arctic, it's Siberian air. It's very, very cold. So expect that when you go out. And those actual temperatures, as they drop below freezing Thursday evening, will not come back above freezing until probably Monday midday. The entire holiday weekend is going to see below freezing temperatures. And like I said, this is it's been about 33 years, 1989, the days leading up to Christmas that year also. Very, very cold. The last time we've had temperatures like this. So let's take a look at where this air is coming from and how it's going to progress here, what the system looks like. So we've got very strong high pressure that is going to be building into the Rockies and into the Central Plains. This is Thursday morning. This is very, very strong high pressure coming straight out of the Arctic down into the northern United States. And so because of its strength, it is going to generate a lot of wind because low pressure is forming along a cold front that's moving to the east. That high is shoving that cold air across the country, and so we've got a low pressure that will be forming along the front. We've got high pressure behind it. The tighter these black lines are together, the more wind you can expect. This is why we're expecting blizzards conditions up in the northern plains and high wind warnings and so forth as well. The wind chill is going to be a real problem, and that is because of all of the wind that is generated by this front. Now, as we push out to 6 p.m., Thursday evening, you see that front has just pushed to the east of Memphis, so that's why I was indicating it'd probably be late afternoon, maybe 3, 4 o'clock when that front comes through here, but it will be pushing very quickly through as that large area of high pressure just dives down to the southern plains, building in behind that front. That air is very dry, it's very windy, but it's also very dry as it moves in, and that is going to shut off the precip pretty quickly once this front moves through. So that's why we're also not expecting a prolonged period of snow with this system. The moisture that's in place ahead of the front will be pushed out of the way pretty quickly, but just not quickly enough to change over in the very quickly dropping temperatures behind that front as well. So there's the low pressure that is formed. It's up over about Indianapolis by 6 p.m. on Thursday, and that's still very strong high pressure over the northern plains. So hence you get a large area on the backside of this of high wind. And then as we move out into Friday morning, now you really can see how this high pressure is built over the plains. You got the strong low pressure that has bottomed out here up in the Great Lakes. All of these tightly packed what we call isobars or areas of equal pressure, the black lines, mean that very strong wind is going to be blowing. And so right here in the Mid-South, obviously this is all cleared out by Friday morning, but we have to deal with very cold air from the high pressure system as well as the strong wind generated between these two systems. So let's take a quick look at how the radar might look as we go through the day. I'm starting this off in the overnight hours Wednesday night. See a few showers around. It is not going to get down below freezing on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. We'll still probably be in the 40s with a southerly wind. So this is light rain possibly around the area headed into Thursday morning. You can notice though, as we're getting closer here to the afternoon hours, this is about 2 o'clock. You see that line that extends right down, basically approaching the Mississippi River down into southern Arkansas. That is the cold front. So there is rain that is generated right ahead of the front, but very quickly that changes over to snow on the backside of it. Maybe a little bit of ice down in the Arklatex area. But as we continue to move forward, there's 3 o'clock. And I think this is pretty good with the timing. This has got the front right along the Mississippi River at about 3 o'clock. By 4 o'clock, it's snowing. We get a couple of hours of that, and then by 8 o'clock, it's off to our east. So this gives you kind of a rough time frame. This could still change. We're 48 hours out. It could change by a couple of hours one way or the other, but I think that's probably a pretty good timing as we see things and comparing all the models right now. So about 3 o'clock, that front comes across. It drops like a rock temperature-wise. The snow moves across over about a 3 or 4 hour window, and then it's gone as we head towards Thursday midnight. It's already well off to our east. Let's take a look at how the temperatures respond. Same model. This is a forecast of temperatures Wednesday night, And you're already seeing up here to our northwest, look at this wedge of red that's coming in here. This is where the cold front is. And as we get to 6 a.m. Thursday morning, we're in the mid 40s. So really, that's kind of where we've been the last couple of days, just a little bit warmer than that. So starting the day off, not too bad. But you can see each hour that I move this through, how quickly that front moves across Arkansas. There it is at 3 p.m. I mentioned the front, basically right along the Mississippi River. Temperatures this has got them in the 40s. I think it actually might be, it's possible that this is underdoing the temperatures ahead of the front. I think I've got a forecast high on Thursday of 50. So it's probably closer to the upper 40s here. But you notice up here, like around Jonesboro, it's already down to 25. And in the Ozarks, down to 10 or even in the single digits. So as that front moves across, you notice that it drops about 15 or 20 degrees in 1 hour. It drops another 5 or 10 degrees in the next couple of hours. And by the time we get to midnight, we're looking at temperatures around 12. So 50 degrees about 3 o'clock, 12 by midnight. That is how fast that air is moving in. I'll also show you real quickly here the wind chill values as this front moves across. Let me get this up to closer time here. Oh, we've got new data coming in. Pardon me. Here we go. All right, so here comes the front on Thursday. These are wind chill values. So you're going to see the temperatures out ahead of the front a little cooler, somewhere around 40, maybe 45 degrees. But you'll notice these wind chill values that are in the greens are negative values. So there's 3 o'clock with the front coming through. By 6 o'clock, the wind chills are down in the single digits. By 9 o'clock, we're hitting 0 for wind chills. And that is just because of that strong wind gusting up to about 30 miles an hour, 30, 35 miles an hour out of the northwest behind that front. And there's, you see, at midnight, it ends there at wind chills around -6. So we're definitely looking at something that, if you head out Thursday evening, you will definitely take notice. For those of you that might have travel plans around the area heading into the Christmas weekend, I thought I'd just give you a quick look at what the snowfall forecast looks like through Christmas Eve from this system. These are approximate numbers, but it does have the Mid-South area kind of in less than an inch, which is about what we're expecting. Values upward closer to 2 inches up towards St. Louis to Kansas City, Southern Illinois, Indianapolis, probably in the 3-inch range. If you're going up into Ohio, a couple of inches, 3 inches up there. The Great Lakes and the northern plains, or the upper Midwest, I should say, is where the heaviest snow is going to fall. This might be underdoing it just a little bit. Places like Chicago, Madison, Minneapolis, I expect those totals up there are probably going to be closer to 6 to 8 inches rather than what we're seeing here. So the heavy snow up north, for those that are going to be traveling and going via airplane, the system going through here might have a little bit of a delay on Thursday evening, but I don't expect it's going to shut anything down here. It will certainly be bitter cold, but airplanes will be able to operate in this. But one thing you want to keep in mind is there are lots of hub airports across the northern part of the country that are going to be impacted by this. So any of those connecting flights you could have some issues with, or even flights that are coming here to Memphis from one of those hubs. It may not be the Memphis weather that is slowing that traffic up. It could be that they can't get out of, say, Chicago or Detroit or Minneapolis, some of those hub airports up to the north. And so we could have some issues here in Memphis, but likely not because of the weather directly here. So the airport is ready. There's a brand new massive de-icing facility here in Memphis that is just ready to go. And so I expect that they'll continue to move, and there will be a lot of FedEx airplanes coming in and out Thursday night and Friday as well, moving all those packages for last minute deliveries before Christmas, and they will definitely be operating. So we should be pretty good here as far as that's concerned. Let's talk a little bit about preparation then. Remember the 4 Ps. There are 4 Ps you need to be concerned about and make sure that you are taking care of, protecting and preparing your people, yourself, your family members that you're responsible for. Maybe you've got neighbors or elderly folks that you need to be checking on. Make sure that you are dressing in layers. When it is this cold, you need every part of your skin covered if at all possible. It does not take long to get frostbite when you have wind chills with well below 0, especially on Friday. So keep an eye on them, check out for them. For your pets, make sure you bring them inside. Don't leave them out in this cold weather. They will not appreciate that, and it could make them sick as well, of course. If they have water bowls or whatever outside and they do have a kind of a shelter outdoors, those will freeze up as well. So you need to make sure that they have food and water. Pipes, we haven't had to talk about this in a while. It takes temperatures below 20 degrees before we really start having to worry about pipes, but we're here. So you need to make sure that any faucets you got on exterior walls starting Thursday night and all the way through the weekend, they need to be dripping those faucets on the exterior walls, not a pouring water, just enough to kind of keep the water moving. Those hose bibs outside, make sure you got those covered. Disconnect your hoses. Have those insulated. Just make sure that you know where your pipes are if they're on exterior walls. I have a feeling that we're going to have a lot of plumber calls going into this weekend and early next week, because I do expect that we're going to have frozen pipes around the area. Don't let your house be one of those. And finally, of course, if you've got vegetation outside that's sensitive, time to bring those in tomorrow or Thursday. Get them in the garage or get them indoors. Or if you can't, cover them up with blankets outside because temperatures down as low as we're expecting them Friday and Saturday mornings could do them in. So let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. First, we get through tomorrow, 51 degrees, not bad. It was kind of like today, a fair amount of clouds around, more than today. We should stay right near freezing overnight tonight. No precipitation expected tomorrow. As we go into Thursday, we'll see those scattered showers around during the daytime. And then as we go into the late afternoon, that rain will quickly change over to snow. It'll last for a few hours on Thursday evening and be gone, and we will clear out overnight Thursday night. Temperatures will top out in the early afternoon close to 50, drop very rapidly during the late afternoon and into the evening hours, bottoming out Friday morning around 6 degrees here in Memphis. That would be one of the coldest December mornings in more than a generation. Wind chills will be around -15 on Friday morning. You heard that right. And I really don't expect that they will probably get much above 0 the entire day on Friday. We're looking for a high temperature of 15 degrees. By the way, the record for the coldest December 23rd on record is 14 on Friday. So we will be very close to record breaking there. Saturday, not a whole lot better. The wind drops off a little bit. 10 degrees for the overnight low, probably a little bit cooler than that outside the city, or colder than that. 24 for the afternoon high, still pretty chilly. Those wind chills, again, won't get out of the teens on Saturday. And then for Christmas Day, partly cloudy. The wind really lightens up on Christmas Day. That should help. It starts to shift out of the south, which will signal a warming trend as we go into next week. But it'll still be quite cold if you're headed to church Christmas morning. 15 degrees for the morning low. 31 for the afternoon high. We're going to stay below freezing all day on Christmas. Monday, it looks like we'll start to get back into a little bit of a warming trend. We'll be back up close to 40 on Monday. And believe it or not, we'll probably be close to 60 by the time we get to New Year's Eve. So this will be a very, very cold blast. It won't last forever, but about 4 days, you need to be doing all of the protection you can do for the things we talked about. Be ready. If you don't have to travel Thursday rush hour into the evening hours, I would advise against it. It's just the safest way to do it. Let this pass and then deal with the cold on the backside of it. But you guys take care. We will continue to bring you updates all the time for the next few days. On Twitter, Facebook, we'll be posting stuff to Instagram as well. Check out the app, MemphisWeather.net app. We have the forecast there. You can always get the forecast through the app, and we appreciate you following along. Everyone needs to stay safe, stay warm, and we'll talk to you again soon.